Well, good morning. It appears that for the first time in 2 weeks at least, I'm not starting under error. Every day for the last 2 weeks, I've been getting an error at 8:18, 2 minutes before I go live, and it lasts till 8:25. But knock on wood, it's going to stay good today. It says I got an excellent connection. I don't think it was any of my equipment that was causing it. I think it was either YouTube or my service provider, but it was right on schedule every day, 8:18, and we're not having that today. So good. Give a minute for see if Melinda gets on this morning. But welcome to Abundant Life Homestead, where 4 days a week I go live during my morning quiet time. And a big part of my morning quiet time is my Bible study. I have a off the cuff Bible study. I don't look ahead. I don't study ahead. I like to get into God's word, get into our passage for the day, and just see how I understand it on the surface. See how it affects me. See how it connects to my life today, and use that as a foundation throughout the day. Start seeing more connections to God's word in my life because of this morning foundation that I've set, and it creates a hunger to learn more about that verses, to do that deeper study, to meditate on it more. And by the time we go to bed, as David says, in the night watches, we have a much deeper understanding of God's word and his connection to our life. Good morning, Melinda. Hey, look what I have. It was right here on my desk. I don't know if you can still remotely get your messages, but once the stream is over, I'll connect this, and maybe you'll be able to get your messages at work. And if not, I guess you'll just have to ignore them for the day. So today is Friday, April the 11th, 2025. I don't normally stream on Friday, but we missed Wednesday, so we pushed everything back a day. And today I'm going to clean my glasses. But today we're going to look at what was in our study is Thursday's verse. On Thursday we did Wednesday, and on Friday we're doing Thursday. Normally, on a normal week, we go through our Connections Bible study, which follows the Revised Common Lectionary, and on Mondays we read the Gospel passage. On Tuesday we read the New Testament passage. Wednesday we're in the Old Testament, and Thursday is a wisdom passage that is more often than not a psalm. But sometimes it's Proverbs, or sometimes it's a wisdom passage from another area of the Bible. Melinda says she's going to ignore her messages for the day. Well, I'll just leave your phone disconnected, and then when you get home, you can connect it, and you'll suddenly get all your messages from the day at once. So today's wisdom passage comes from Psalm 31, verses 9 through 16. Let's get that opened up here. Whoops. Helps if I remember my password. Open up my Bible app. I use the YouVersion Bible app. I really like that one. This one. We're going to Psalm 31. Psalm 31, 9 through 16. Reading this morning out of the Amplified Bible. Be gracious and compassionate to me, O Lord, for I am in trouble. My eye is clouded and weakened by grief, my soul and my body also. For my life is spent with sorrow, and my years with sighing. My strength has failed because of my iniquity, and even my body has wasted away. Because of all my enemies I have become a reproach and a disgrace, especially to my neighbors, and an object of dread to my acquaintances. Those who see me in the street run from me. I am forgotten like a dead man out of mind. I am like a broken vessel. For I have heard the slandering and whispering of many. Terror is on every side. While they schemed together against me, they plotted to take away my life. But as for me, I trust confidently in you and your greatness, O Lord. I said, You are my God. My times are in your hands. Rescue me from the hand of my enemies, from those who pursue and protect me. Make your face shine upon your servant. Save me in your loving kindness. Okay. So yesterday we were in Isaiah and we saw Christ the Messiah speaking prophetically through Isaiah, and what David is giving here very much has the same essence of what we studied yesterday with Christ, but in a very different manner. Yesterday the Messiah starts with you've given me the wisdom to have the right words and the an ear to hear as a learned person and as a disciple, and you've given me strength to stand against my enemies, and you protect me so when I turn my back against those who want to beat it, I give my face to those who want to rip my beard out. With you protecting me, no one can stand against me. And David ends very much like that, but he starts, and as he starts here, we see the human side, the human condition. We strive to be Christ-like, but we still struggle with the human condition. And David, instead of starting with how great God has protected him, and he does some up in the beginning of Psalm 31, but with this passage starts with, "Oh God, I'm in trouble." Getting into his sorrows, his weariness. My eye is clouded and weakened by grief, my soul and my body also. David is at a point right here where I think all of us feel at some point in our life where the struggles and the toils have just hit so hard that we are drained physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and we get tempted into despair. We have nothing left, nowhere to turn but God. The world is just beating us down, beating the crap out of us. We are totally drained in every way. But my eye is clouded and weakened by grief, my soul, my body also. Every part of me is just feeling destroyed. For my life is spent with sorrow and my years with sighing. He sees this almost as never ending. It's it just continues on and on and on, and sometimes we don't see the end of it. So we're just constantly sighing with grief. Here we go again. Here we go again. Something's coming. Something's coming. We just know it. Something's coming. My strength has failed because of my iniquity, and even my body has wasted away. So here David even admits that, this isn't something that's God's fault. He's talking to God. He's saying, "Oh God, I'm in trouble," but he's also saying, "This is all my fault. This is my doing. I messed up. I messed up a lot. I trust you, God. I follow you, God. I am your servant, but I'm really screwing up here." Melinda says, "This song brings me back to the fall when Aunt Frances passed. I was full of sorrow and relied heavily on God to even put one foot in front of the other." Yes, and I remember those times, and you going through those times. You were probably closer to Aunt Frances than anyone I've ever known in my life. She was closer to you than anyone I've ever known in my life, and it was very sorrowful to see her go through that and see her pass. And it's interesting when you mention the fall, because this kind of reminds me of the seasons. We all have to go through these seasons, and David is in this season of despair. Earlier in Psalm 31, he's more in this season of springtime, uplifting and rejoicing. And here he's in the season of everything is falling apart, everything is getting dark, more like going into the winter time. And we have to remember that we have these seasons. We can't have the full experience, the full year, the full life without having seasons of up and down, seasons of fruitfulness and seasons of struggle, seasons of growing and seasons of withering away. This is part of the entire experience of life, is going through these seasons. But David here says, this is all because of my fault. My iniquity is causing this. Oh God, save me. I'm in trouble because I messed up. I screwed up. Even my body is wasting away. He's starting to feel awfully old. I can sympathize with that. I'm starting to feel awfully old sometimes. Because of all my enemies, I have become a reproach and a disgrace, especially to my neighbors. That's one that can hit, that kind of hits really hard, and I think it can probably hit many people. Your neighbors, the people who have seen you, who have known you. He would mention, I'm an object of dread to my acquaintances, the people who truly have been around you, but are often, we often find out in times of trouble when we have enemies around us that our friends are kind of flaky. They flake off real easy when trouble comes. But the people who have seen your integrity, the people who have seen your honor, the people who have experienced you, suddenly turn their back on you because someone else said something terrible about you. Even if they didn't experience the terrible thing that someone said, the people around you, your very friends, your maybe not your inner circle, but your outer circle, become an object of dread to them. They don't even want to talk to you anymore. They abandon you very quickly when you have enemies. Melinda says, it is easy to praise God during the happy seasons, but we must remember to praise God when we are hurting, sad, and or defeated. Yes, and I think that's where David heads with this. He feels very defeated. He knows he's defeated. And he turns it to praising God. That's something we need to remember. Make sure we have these seasons. We're going to go through all of the different seasons. We need to remember to praise the Lord through all of those seasons. I become an object of dread to my acquaintances. My very friends turn against me because of what others have done to me and what others have said to me. And those who see me on the street run from me. Melinda says, sometimes we cast our thoughts onto those around us and we think we are a burden or an object of dread to them, when in fact they do not feel that way at all. Yes, that happens often, and I think when we're talking about the human side of this, when I look at that and what I've been saying here, we see our outer circle start flaking off because trouble has come. Our outer circle starts abandoning us, and we have this inner circle of friends, the ones who see and know our integrity, our honor, our actions. They know who we are. They would never abandon us, but we start, as Melinda said, we think we're a burden or an object of dread to everyone. So we start treating our inner circle as if they're going to do what the outer circle done, and that just compounds our problems in these times of trouble. And they don't feel that way at all. And honestly, I've had these very conversations with my best friend from both sides, both with him experiencing it and me experiencing it. And it's like, when they said this, I didn't feel that way. When they said this, I wasn't going to abandon you. I let you push me away for a while, but I'm still here, and he had the same conversations with me at times, and I'm still here. That's not me. I'm not them. I'm not that. I'm not one of those flakes that's falling off because trouble is here. but we still, as humans, we tend to treat our closest ones that way, and it's a terrible thing that happens. Now we don't know how much of that part David went through, but we definitely can see it within ourselves when our acquaintances, when our neighbors, when those who we thought knew us abandon us because of our enemies, because of what others say. I'm forgotten like a dead man, out of mind. I'm like a broken vessel, tossed aside, left forgotten. Much of the same thing as we're reading here. For I've heard the slander and whispering of many. Terror is on every side. While they schemed together against me, they plotted to take away my life. And although it may not be that common for someone to want to actually take our physical life, we still experience with this. They take pride and pleasure in causing us to be drained physically, mentally, spiritually. They don't literally take away our life, but they do take away our life. Just for the battles that we fight and the things that we see and those coming against us. They plot against us. They do this on purpose, and we all know how the world is out there. There's a constant beating down, trying to cancel everyone for every little thing, trying to get rumors started. Rumors is something that it always has been and always will be. And it's all with the intention, it's all with this plot to take us down in this way, to drain us physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to put us down at this lowest level. But as for me, I trust confidently in you and your greatness, O Lord. I said, you are my God. So David, as I said in the beginning, he really echoes what Christ said prophetically through Isaiah, but he doesn't get to it till the end. The human condition the human condition makes us kind of complain and woe about our worries and toils first, but I am with you, God. I trust in you, God. And then oftentimes we can't help it, but I think it would be better for us to start that conversation with God, to start that about our troubles and everything with the I trust in you. You are my God. This stuff is coming against me. But we do tend to start out with, oh God, I'm in trouble. Just as David did. I mean, we're no different, no better than King David. We're no worse, no better. This is who we are. My times are in your hands. Rescue me from the hand of my enemies and from those who pursue and persecute me. My times are in your hands. That kind of gets back to the seasons. Every season I'm in is in your hands. All of the times I go through are in your hands. The good times, the bad times, the mountains and the valleys, I am in your hands. Rescue me from the hand of my enemies and from those who pursue and persecute me. This kind of comes, I think, it's familiar with David as oh gosh, it's one of those stories in 2 Samuel when one of David's iniquities, one of David's sins, part of the coming out of that was, God was going to punish him in some way, but punish me in your hands. Don't punish me with the hands of my enemies. Put me in your hands and do what you have to do. Something along those lines. I would have to sit down and study and look it up. But so that's something that was very familiar with David. He being surrounded by the enemies, as we often are. Put me in your hands, God. If I'm going to go through bad things, I want to go through bad things in your hands, not in my enemy's hands. Don't let me get to that point where I'm in the enemy's hands. Rescue me from the hand of my enemies and from those who pursue and persecute me. Make your face shine upon your servant to save me in your loving kindness. And that's part of the priestly blessing that goes clear back to the early Old Testament. May the Lord bless you and keep you, make his face shine upon you. I don't remember the exact wording of that, but Melinda probably knows it better than I do. But even though we hear it every week, especially with Pastor Neil, he always ends his sermon with that. He always dismisses after the church service. May the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you. And the shining face is a symbol of being happy with someone. You know, when your face shines upon someone, you're pleased with what they're doing. You know, if you're angry with someone, your face isn't shining upon them. So God, make your face shine upon your servant as David is the servant. He's, make what I do be pleasing to you. May what I do be pleasing to you. So that when you look at me, your face shines, you smile, you're happy with what I do. Even though I screwed up, but I'm here with you, God. I trust in you, God. I put myself in your hands. Make everything I do something that pleases you. And save me in your loving kindness. Yep, Melinda. Okay. Melinda says I had it correct. May the Lord bless you and keep you and make his face shine upon you. Do you know that I know it comes from the Old Testament. It's probably around Exodus, Leviticus, and one of those. But I don't know if you can find a reference for that. Just out of curiosity. And the Amplified doesn't have any side notes on this part. It's kind of a short read. And look real quick, what are we at? 9 through 16. Like I said, this section, this is just a season that David is going through, and it's just a part of the Psalm 31. Even if you read the beginning of Psalm 31 up to verse 9, he's be my rock and refuge. Yes, you are my rock and my fortress. You draw me out of the net. Into your hand I commit my spirit. I rejoice and be glad in your steadfast love. So we see David changing from that one season to the next of everything is great and I'm praising the Lord. Okay, now everything is just absolutely terrible. And, oh God, I'm in trouble. God, I screwed up. God, but I trust you, but I'm with you. We even within this one psalm, we can see David go through these several seasons. And Melinda gives us the reference of Numbers chapter 6, 24 through 26. Just because I'm curious, I should be able to give out references out of my head a little easier, like Grandpa used to do, but I am not Grandpa, especially when it comes to actual numbers, not the book of Numbers, but numbers themselves. I really fumble over the digits 0 through 9 and everything else up to infinity. Numbers 6, 24 through 26. Okay, so yeah, it's Aaron's benediction. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the way you shall bless the Israelites. Say to them, The Lord bless you and keep you, protect you, sustain you, and guard you. The Lord make his face shine upon you with favor, and be gracious to you, surrounding you with loving kindness. The Lord lift up his countenance, his face upon you with divine approval, and give you peace, a tranquil heart and life. So it's exactly what David's repeating at the end of this passage. He doesn't repeat that whole thing, but he says, shine your face upon me and save me with your loving kindness. Here in the Amplified Version in Numbers, it's be gracious and surround me with your loving kindness. Same thing as save me with your loving kindness. So now I know that. Doesn't mean I will remember it tomorrow, but Melinda says, it's like when you mess up as a kid. You know that you messed up, but you know that your parents will be there to help and love you in spite of the mess you just made of your life. And that is always a hope I have, especially with my own children. One thing I always tried to do, and I don't think I learned well till I was an adult, but it with whoever was my authority, if I mess up, if I do something wrong, if I make a mistake, I want the authority, I need to be the first one they hear it from. And I try to teach that to my children. It's when, if you mess up, I better hear it from you first. Yeah, you're probably going to be in trouble. Yeah, we're probably going to have some tough times. But you mess up, you bring it to me first. We'll fix the problem, and then we'll worry about the consequences. But if you try to hide what you did, it starts compounding those problems. So bring it to me first. Know that I'm going to be there to help you and to love you in spite of the mess, despite the mess you made. Melinda says, when I went through my divorce, my parents didn't say, I told you so. Instead, they just loved me and helped me get through the mess. And that's something I can feel too from Grandpa, and not just in past relationships and other things, but when life is falling apart, I remember Grandpa calling me and says, I hear you've been having some trouble, and I just want you to know I love you, and why don't you come by? Let's go have dinner. And we could go have dinner and never bring up the bad things that were happening, not really bring up the trouble that was happening, but he just to let us know that he was there for us. If it was money trouble, if it was relationship trouble, if it was other people starting trouble, if it was just depression and despair over something, it was always this, hey, I'm here for you. I'm here for you. We didn't even have to discuss what was going on. It was just the, hey, I'm here for you. And Melinda's parents were very much the same way with her. And I try to be the same way with everyone that I know, but I don't think I fail too much with that. I don't reach out as much as I should, I think, the way Grandpa did, but there is that always, I don't care what you did. Whether it's siblings or extended family or people who have stood against me, I don't care what you did. I'm here. You're human. I love you. So, 8:49. I know there's quite a delay in the stream, so if you have anything else to add on this, Melinda, feel free to type it out, and I'll catch it as soon as I can. But otherwise, what else do we have going on today? Not a whole lot. I need to go see Lee, but I'll go spend some time with the old man after Melinda gets home. Also need to put a battery in the lawnmower. It is getting that time of year. I don't know about y'all, but I loathe mowing. I do not like mowing. I don't care to mow. I don't care if the grass grows tall. I don't like to mow. And I know some people who love to mow. I have neighbors who love to mow their yard. They mow their yard a lot, and they enjoy it. It's their relaxing time. My relaxing time is usually spent at the desk. I don't like to be out there mowing, but it's getting to that season where we're gonna have to mow because it happens every year. So I got to get the mowers in order. Went and bought a battery for one yesterday. It was kind of funny. I knew I was going to have to buy a battery. It went out last fall. Couldn't even. Yeah, Melinda's dad loves to mow. He owns several mowers, and he mows multiple properties, and he drives down the road where they live. He drives his mower down the road, mows the church property there, and then half the time he'll throw his mowers on the trailer and he'll come mow our properties, not because we can't do it, and not really because I don't like to, but because he loves to. He just wants to mow more, and I let him. I'm not going to argue. If he wants to come mow our place, that's perfectly fine. But it's funny. Yesterday I went to Rural King to get a battery for the mower. I knew it was bad last fall at the end of the season. Every time I went to mow, I had to jump start the mower, and then it wouldn't run well because the battery was completely shot. It was 5 years old at the time. So I went to buy a battery yesterday, and I walk in, and there is literally 12 men in line, every one of them holding a lawnmower battery. So it's like this was the year for batteries to go bad, because that's just in one moment. We don't even know the whole season so far, even how many of us have had to go get a lawnmower battery. But it just struck me as funny when I walked in the door to go buy a lawnmower battery, and I counted 12 guys, every one of them holding a lawnmower battery. So it's that time. It's that time of year, and everybody needed a battery at once. But despite me not liking to mow, I'm still gonna I'll get the mower going, even knowing that Melinda's dad's gonna come mow a lot. I'm gonna get the mower going and try to get my boys on it more. Caleb can mow. My oldest son has mowed a lot, but Jacob, our autistic son, he starts things a lot later in life, and that's perfectly fine. But he turned 13 this year, and he's told me 4 times so far that one thing he really wants to do this year is learn to drive the mower. So I think I'm going to probably be teaching him to mow very soon. At least to drive the mower. I may get him out in the back pasture, not even put a deck on, and just have him drive. The other 2 really want to learn. Yeah, the youngest, I think he's too small. If they can't push the clutch pedal, which they have to do to start the mower, then they won't be mowing. Not yet. That's the thing. They have to be able to sit on the seat, because there's a safety in the seat. They have to be able to sit on the seat and push the clutch pedal with their foot all the way to the floor, to the point that it allows the starter to engage. If they can't do that, then they can't drive the mower yet. Otherwise, not really a whole lot going on at the homestead. In the next couple of days, I'm going to have some tilling to do. I put out the video last week where I started plowing with the farmall, and the farmall broke down, and well, I did end up finishing the job with the Kubota. I've got all that filmed. I've got all that uploaded. It'll go live next week. Melinda, he might be a bit too dangerous right now anyway. Yeah, that's kind of what I figure. That's why I'm probably going to take him out into the back pasture and just let him go without even having a deck on the mower. Got a whole lot of plowing videos coming up next week. Yesterday a video went published as public of putting up some garage racking, some garage shelving, if anybody's interested in that one. Got one coming up this week as far as how much I actually make on YouTube. That's really out of what I normally do. A video about money and what I make, but the and I realize it's in an effort of self-promotion, but the YouTube suggestions and algorithm just keep popping up this suggestion to make this video every time I look in the studio. It's suggesting I make this video, so I went ahead and made it. And then who knows where we'll go from there. You say you met Gideon. Oh yeah, the youngest. He doesn't have the attention span yet to really operate the mower. And I'm not sure Jacob has the restraint to do it. That's why I'm just going to get him in an open area and let him loose for a while. So 8:56. We can look into next week. I was actually preparing to have to start the stream later in the week because of the errors we were getting, and then the error didn't happen today, so I'm kind of up in the air of whether or not I should start cutting it shorter, as in starting later. But next week we have a lot of additional reading we can do with our Connections Bible study. I took my glasses off. I'm trying to read that. But Monday, I may take a copy of this and put it in an actual post for each day, because I have a lot of readings we could do each day. Let me look and see. So Monday's main study is on John chapter 20, 1 through 18. But we get additional readings on Monday. John 12, 1 through 11. Hebrews 9, 11 through 15. Isaiah 42, 1 through 9. And Psalm 36, 5 through 11. I don't believe I can even begin to cover all 5 of those passages in one 40-minute live in the morning, but I may spend some time this weekend recording all the additional readings for the week, and then we'll just stick with the main study for the live stream. Melinda says Friday is Good Friday. Also, we may want to do a special live for it. Are you off on Good Friday? So yeah, it looks like Monday, April 14th, we're going to study John 20, 1 through 18, and expect me to maybe drop 4 extra shorts on that day. We'll see. I kind of intended to do that with extra reading before, but I couldn't get to it. So Melinda and the boys, they're all off on Good Friday. Okay, well maybe we'll plan a special live. Hopefully nothing comes up in the morning that pushes us back a day, and then we can just dedicate Friday to a Good Friday. And we actually have Friday reading this week, where we don't normally have Friday reading. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe get you and the kids involved, and we'll read all these additional readings for Good Friday, because there's 4 passages for Good Friday as well. We'll see how it goes. Oh, there's passages to read on Saturday too. So the whole week we've got extra reading to do, if we want to read everything that's in the study. We don't always get to it all, but that's okay. There's the 9 o'clock click. That means it's time to be closing out. At 9 o'clock, as long as Grandma's awake, 9 a.m. Eastern time is when she wants me to start making her breakfast. And I'm not going to deny her that. If she's awake, I'll make her breakfast. If she's not, I'll piddle around a while until she wakes up, and then I'll get her started. Linda says, it sounds like a good idea. We have a service at the church also. Yeah, I kind of expect us to have a Good Friday service at church. But yeah, next Friday morning we'll get on. We'll do a special live. We'll have it a little more planned out than my morning impromptu off the cuff jump into it. We'll have it a little more planned out, a little more scripted, but will still be a good start to the day, a good foundation of the morning. But anyway, I'm confused because today's Friday and I don't normally do this on Friday. Until Monday, keep on nourishing your dreams, cultivating your passions, embracing the beauty of God's creation. I hope you have a wonderful and blessed day and weekend, and we will see you Monday morning. I think that's the first time I've ever done a live and had 0% dropped frames. Maybe they got those errors figured out.